our family
Recorded.
to have grandparents that literally live plus 90. Okay, my grandmother, passed away in her early 90s. My grandfather is here at 96 years young. But I do want everyone on the line to hold Melvin Anderson Sr., that's my grandfather, up in prayers. He has, suffered lately. He's been battling, cancer. He's battled it 20 years ago. They cured it, thyroid cancer. It came back, now it's in his bones, in his shoulder. And when I had a chance to go there to hold him and hug him and give him a big kiss, you just saw the weakness right in him. And let me tell you something. We had just celebrated his 95th birthday, about a year and a half ago. And it was so amazing to see him there, so strong and still driving. And it's just, it's always, surprising how fast things can start to accelerate as we get up there in age. We sometimes feel the aches and pains just being in our 50s and 60s, let alone someone who's been on this planet for 96 years of time, served in World War II. In fact, was the only person to survive in his unit to return back. Thank God. I mean, that was really our family legacy. I mean, it would have never started without him. And so, again, just hold him up in prayers. One of the strongest men you'll ever meet, even to this day, doesn't want anyone there to take care of him. He refuses, to have, a care provider there, doesn't want to, go to the nursing home or anything like that. So my family's really just been there to support him in every capacity. My uncles have moved back to town, and my mom stays the night when they're not there. So just know he's surrounded by love, but prayers this morning would be phenomenal. And what I want to do right now, though, is really talk about, really the 2025 vision, and thank you each and every one of you for your patience and really allowing us the time that we've really needed to really reorganize and redefine. I mean, we've had a lot of changes. We have some amazing folks, and as you know, just the reorganization of that has been a challenge, but just super excited because the team has stepped up to the plate. And what you're going to see in 2025 is just a completely new company from the inside out as it relates to just taking things to that next level. Had a very awesome meeting. We do it every Saturday morning with the corporate team at 8 o'clock. 8:30 technically for the full staff. They get on at 8:30. But we had an awesome team and a lot of great updates, guys. And so just to give you some corporate updates so that you can know where we're at and anything that's actually we've made progress on, okay? So we have made some progress, right? And one of those, we had to restructure the morning lineup. So super excited, for those of you who heard last week's lineup, just great job to all. It was just a great job. Everybody stepping in. I think, Mooney, you started in 2024. You stepped in on Thursday and on Friday and just been doing a phenomenal job. And Kayetta and Kathy jumping in on Wednesday. So, again, the teamwork just truly makes the dream work. Also, to know that our website, for those of you who've been leveraging Flat Belly Lifestyle, you still can use that link, but right now, focus on knowyourbloodtype.com. It takes you to the same place. But we're right now doing some configurations with the Flat Belly Lifestyle link. So it should be done in full progress today. But just know that for those of you who have been having customers purchase the Blood Type Starter Kit, they need to really download their digital downloads. If they go to knowyourbloodtype.com, you're going to notice a lot of new enhancements, okay? And what I love about that, it's also related to the fact that if you look on the postcard, they actually have on the bottom of it, knowyourbloodtype.com. And in the past, it was a little confusing, right? Because they go there and they see digital downloads and passwords they might not have access to. But now it takes them to the front of the page. It gives them an opportunity to click on the downloads, and that takes them right to the blood type charts that they can download with the password as long as they purchase the blood type starter kits. Or there's an actual tab at the top of the site. It's the 3 bars if you are on a cell phone, and it lets them select blood type charts. And so I really feel it's a move in the right direction because it really starts to bring everything into one umbrella in a way that really becomes more user-friendly. And you're going to also notice the website is getting a facelift, okay? So there's been some exciting updates to that. We've cleaned up some of the stuff because you saw the Aronia juice on there, and there was also things on there like the builder. So those have been replaced with the Flat Belly Fuel, the Blood Type Starter Kit. We really want to make that a phenomenal landing spot for your customer. So imagine you're giving out these postcards and you really want them to have a great first point of contact when they go online, right? They're excited enough, they're curious enough, they look at the bottom of the blood type card, the pluggers, right? That Margaret's done such a phenomenal job in really helping us craft the process behind that. But now they land somewhere that actually starts to make sense, right? Whether they are the people that purchased the blood type starter kit or whether they're just there curious, everyone's going to really start to get what they need. And so super excited about that progress. Also, too, I know many of you have done an awesome job at starting to track your progress as it relates to how many people you've been handing those pluggers to every single month. But beyond that, you also need to track how many new customers you have. And so when you've been on certification, you've heard Margaret share the great training about 5 or 10, the consistency club or the super, star club, right? Really, regardless of what level you fall, it's really about building customers, right? New customers. And really, as you can see now, she's made some provisions on there. So pretty much any product almost can qualify for that, right? It's really about getting new customers. And so if we had everyone getting new customers every single month, and if you were getting 5 new customers every single month or 10 new customers, that's really how we start to monitor the foundation that's going to lead to the momentum. And that's really what it's about. It's about having consistent habits. And so today, I'm going to give you some training, just some quick little goal training on how you can achieve that, right? Because there's very specific steps you need to take in order to be a part of that consistency club. And for those of you like Kenneth Elam and Bernadine Kirkland and many others, so if I didn't shout out your name, we'll have a formal list we read off. But many of you, I know Margaret Dorsey, you've been probably one of the most consistent, but you have already, if you've already sent your information in, just know that we have a new email. And so this new email will start to be monitored. I know Margaret has assembled a team, and so this email now is locked and loaded, and it's tracking at akana.com. So just know that's also a part of the progress the team has made. New office hours. We're going to be announcing new office hours as it relates to whether you pick up or whether it's just a shipping day, okay? And so the team is working through that. We've actually given the team some assignments, so they're kind of going through their daily protocols. We're cleaning up our standard operating procedures, really looking at our employee manual and making sure everything that needs to be covered is being covered. So as the team goes through that this week, just know by next week we'll have an update as it relates to the pickup process, but we'll give you notice. So don't think it's going to happen just overnight. You'll have the notice that you need. Even some exciting enhancements that are being made with customer service and what we're going to do there, because I know it's been such a blessing to have someone like Cassie just kind of step in there, right, to really help us in all capacities. But we know we've got to relieve some of that stress off her, and also, too, just ensure we properly, put work in different areas, okay? Also, too, the Hemp Goldie, want to give you an update on that. Super excited. In fact, we're going to have a special training because we do know for those of you who did order the 21-day cleanse, you're going to be the first to actually have that in your hands. In fact, we have a specific area on knowyourbloodtype.com where we're going to give a whole instruction on Hemp Goldie. It's going to talk about the features and benefits. And so that's all loading. So super excited about that. So that's going to be another way for you to quickly have your customer get the information they need. I know some of you were on certification, so you do know that our main site is going to change as well. But changing that site, it's a lot more complicated. There's a lot more hands involved, and it's such a big process. And so we're feeling empowered today, knowing that we can make some quick pivots, give you a lot of the stuff you saw on that website on knowyourbloodtype.com so that you can keep it moving. You don't have to miss a beat in January, and you can really start getting your customers and prospects fired up about what they have here with us at Akana. Speaking of what they have with us, I do have a product alert update. So Delta 100, so we call it Delta Flight 100. So if you don't know what that is, if you've heard of the Flight 50, and many of you know those triangles that you've all grown to either have customers love or maybe you love them personally. Well, we have a limited edition on a product that you're going to want to get your hands on because it is absolutely potent. In fact, you just need a little bitty nibble because a nibble is about 1/8 of it, right, versus 1/4 of it. So this is double the amount of Delta 8. So it's super, super potent, super, super strong. So if anyone told you that they didn't get an effect from 50. They will absolutely feel the effects of the 100. But the good news is you really don't have to eat it all. You can nibble on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer you, for the same price that you've been paying for the 50 milligrams, in that particular bottle, there were 15, and that measured at 750 milligrams of Delta 8. In this particular bottle, there's 10, but it measures at 1,000 milligrams. So you're getting 250 more milligrams. And for today only, because we only are offering 100 bottles, when these 100 bottles sell out, they're gone. So every person who you know who loves those triangles, you want to get them to at least get one of these bottles, because today, for the same price that we did sell the 50 milligrams for, which is the $59.95, they're being offered for $59.95. The price on that will go up tomorrow, but also you will get the 10% off that's been running site-wide. And if it's a new customer, they can put that save 10 and save another 10%. So you want to get your Delta customers lined up today, get that product. It's ready to ship. It's already bottled and labeled. I know the warehouse team worked on that on Friday. And so if you go to the site, if you don't see it just yet, just know it's already programmed. We just got to flip the script. So flip the switch, I guess you call it, right? And so as soon as this call concludes, you'll have access to making a purchase of that Delta 100 so that you can grab up those limited bottles, because I'll say it again, guys, there's only 100 bottles. You give us the feedback once you love it. And so far, I mean, people are loving this because, again, take a little nibble, super, super potent, does everything you need, the creativity, the deep sleep, all of that, right? And so also, too, it was a report that just was issued. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it was on coffee. And I've always known coffee has great health benefits. I've witnessed my grandfather for years and years always drink coffee and never had any heart problems. Strong heart, even to this day, all the vitals he has is super strong. It's just this cancer, and we're hoping to get strong enough, because I want to bring him up to the energy center and let him just stay there as long as he needs to stay there. But that's the thing about coffee, guys. It really works on the cardiovascular system. They say that when you start your day off with a cup of coffee, it actually shows to reduce risk factors for cardiovascular and heart disease. And I thought that was pretty amazing to witness. So we're talking about regular coffee, because coffee in and of itself has antioxidants and health benefits. But imagine when it's supercharged with all the nutrients we have. So ours really becomes super protected. And so really, it's a great day to start your day with our plant-based coffee, okay? And so if you are not yet sipping our purely plant coffee, make sure you go online and get your coffee. And that's going to be another one that you can include when we're talking about your 5 customers or your 10 customers a month. You know, that's another product that's going to be an easy switch over, because many people already drink coffee. So it's just a matter of educating them on the fact that coffee, yes, has health benefits, but when you can add aronia berry to it, lion's mane, reishi, green tea, I mean, all of these healthy things in one morning cup of coffee, right? We are delivering health at its finest. Super, super excited about that. And so with that being said, also, too, want to make a big announcement. We will hear from some new additions to the corporate team. I'll do that formally next Monday, because I'll have them online. So just stay tuned, because we will have some new additions to the corporate team so we can continue to keep things moving smooth, and anything that hasn't been running smooth, we can make sure that it does just that. Also, too, a big reminder of the Ageless Body Bootcamp. If you have enrolled, you are already ahead of the curve. But guess what? If you have not enrolled, no worries, because there's going to be a second launch to this. And so for those of you who just started the year off, and again, many people are saying, hey, no New Year's resolutions. And I get it, right? Sometimes we say these New Year's resolutions, but they tell us that by a certain day, a certain Friday, most people have already fallen off the bandwagon, right? So why keep doing what doesn't work? I think the key is starting off with healthy habits. And I believe when you're with a group and accountability is there, it can really set you in the right direction. And I know for me, I really want to make an intentional habit to really start doing strategic workouts and exercise. So I'm excited because I am enrolled in the Ageless Body Bootcamp, but I'm kicking mine off officially with the second group. So if you want to be a part of the second group, it's going to be awesome, because those of you who are already on board, again, you're ahead of the curve, but we're going to add some special new components to really ensure you get the accountability that you need. Okay, speaking of accountability, we want to make sure we're plugging into all the events because there's events happening company-wide, whether it's the Sunday night call that they do every Sunday, really supporting the whole new blood type campaign and flat belly lifestyle, whether it's the Tuesday call with Dr. Betty, whether it's the Wednesday scan events. We want to make sure we're supporting these events. And there's a big event happening this Saturday, January the 18th. It's another way for you to come and learn about how to infuse with Dr. Yakila, okay? In fact, I'm going to look in my phone because I know Mooney sent me a text this morning. I want to make sure I get the time right. Let's just look at that real quick. It is happening Saturday from 1 to 4. I thought it was 1 to 4, but it says it on the flyer, so check out Facebook so that you can see that flyer, but 1 to 4 this Saturday. And this is going to be another way for you to really understand the power of THCA, understand the power of RSO, understand how you can infuse. I know Crystal Robinson will be a part of that too. I know Mooney and all of Team Contagious, right? So you want to join because it's company-wide, right? Company-wide, but I love the fact that Team Contagious have taken ownership and they're really hosting events to really help take the business to the next level. This weekend, I might be traveling, and if I do, I'm going to be bringing back some super exciting news, so stay tuned. We'll see if that happens or not, but I'm waiting on a phone call, and just, again, a big, big thing happening. But now let's get into today's message, okay? Because I want to remind you of something I started to talk about last week, and that is forward, right? You know, because we know that forward in this moment is the only direction that matters. We know that whatever is behind us served its purpose. We've learned the lessons. We've had the wins. We've had the challenges. All of that prepared us for where we're at today in 2025. And so here's what we know. We know we have to let go of what's not working, okay? So if it's not working, we got to let it go. We got to double down on what is working, and we got to move with belief, okay? Because we know that we're building something groundbreaking. And so I've created what we call the 2025 Akana Vision Action Plan, okay? And so if you're on the line this morning, all of the leaders, we're going to get this emailed out to you so you'll have a chance to actually go through it with your team. But we really want the theme to focus on forward only, right? No looking back. Step one, locking in our 2025 goals. Have you locked them in yet? Personal goals, income goals. You know, are goals regarding your health, you know, goals regarding your rank. How many lives do you want to impact this year? And after you set those goals, the way to take a goal and make it a reality is you want to then have an action item behind every single goal that you create. And so the action in setting the goal could be sharing it with your upline, sharing it with your accountability partner, making sure you write it down. They tell us that when we write our goal down, do you know they did a study in Harvard and it talked about 97%, right? You know, versus people who don't write them down. And most people who don't write them down, they never really complete that goal. So you want to write it down. You want to post it everywhere so that you're reminded of that goal. I remember one time when we were in another company, one of our good friends, Sandy, was working towards directorship. Not only did she write her goal down, but she put herself right on the magazine with us because we were on this cover of the magazine. So she put her face there. She had it on her refrigerator. She said, I will be a director. Everywhere she went, I am a director. And I'm telling you, that vision really came to life. And it was so exciting when she crossed over, but she owned it. She believed in it. And she visualized it. I know many of you are saying, I'm going emerald or I'm going diamond. Well, have you put that goal in writing? Have you then shared that with your accountability partner? And have you, put that everywhere, right? You should have diamonds everywhere. When you walk in your home, right, you should see diamonds, okay? And so then what you want to start doing is now that you have these goals, you want to determine how much action you should really start taking based on the goal. Because if it's a small goal, well, it doesn't need as much action. But step two is building consistent momentum. So when you think about consistent momentum, this is what it's non-negotiable, right? So consistency means you can't negotiate, say, I'm going to do this when I want to do it. So that's why you have to pick something realistic to the time you have available to give. So if, let's say you say, I'm going to build something consistently 5 days a week. And then on Saturday and Sunday, guess what? Those are my days now where I'm, with my family. That's the time I'm just not going to be doing any prospecting. Whatever you agree to with yourself, you got to come up with an agreement and make it non-negotiable. See, most people set stuff and they keep breaking it. So there's this inconsistency that happens. But again, step 2 is what? Building consistent momentum. So these are your daily non-negotiables. And so what could that look like? It could be that you have made it your goal every day to connect with 3 new prospects, to follow up with 3 existing contacts, and to promote the blood type products, to promote the question, do you know your blood type? Okay, to go on social media and talk about the power of blood type, right? Figure out what it is that you are wanting to achieve and just build that consistent momentum around that. And now what is your action behind that? So your action behind that is even a step further, because now you got to track it. So that's your action behind step 2, is tracking these daily activities, okay? And so step number 3 is now you got to do what? You got to lean in, okay? Lean into the system, okay? Because how do we win? We win together, right? Together, everyone achieves more. That's the definition of team. Together, everyone achieves more. So let's lean into the system, because system saves you what? Time, energy, and money. Saving yourself time, energy, and money. That's the acronym for system. And so that means we have to not reinvent the wheel. We want to plug into the calls. We want to plug into the webinars. We want to plug into social media, into the groups. We want to plug into, again, all the calls. And then you want to also invite your team and invite your prospects to everything. And so what's the action item behind step 3 is do what? You want to pick an upcoming event and get at least 3 guests there. So whether it's the Tuesday call with Dr. Betty, whether it's the live Wednesday event where you're actually coming to learn blood type testing. We called it BioScan, but they do BioScan still, but it's really changed in a way. They lead with the blood types, but at the end, they are doing the scans, guys. So, but pick one upcoming event and get at least 3 guests there. So that's your action item for step 3. So let's talk about step 4. Okay, step 4 is I really want everyone to embrace the idea of attraction marketing. So embrace attraction marketing. See, your brand equals what? Your business. Your brand is your business. And if your business is failing, that means you've not really developed a brand. Because when the brand is properly developed, then guess what happens? People start knocking on your door. You're going to have people asking you constantly, how do I learn or join your business? I posted a random post, had nothing to do with the business, and got 3 prospects from that one little post. Hey, I want to know about your business. Hey, I want to know about your business. So you want to make sure you're doing something to attract people. And I can tell you this, to attract people, it's not going to be every day shoving your business name down their throat. Yeah, it's great to talk about Akana occasionally, but you really want to get into the business of sharing content, okay? And so your content matters. So you want to make sure that 2025 is the year you show up powerfully on social media. If last year you really feel you didn't do the job you wanted to do, that's okay. It's a brand new year. You have almost over 355 days left, right? I mean, you have a lot of days, 300 at least 52 days, okay, to really make this year the year you show up powerfully on social media. And so you want to start creating value-driven content. You want to share personal stories. You can share stories of your team. I noticed when Kenneth Elam had a great testimonial, I saw many of you sharing that, right? Sharing tips, sharing results. You can connect these to the wellness industry. You can connect these to food for blood types, your personal journey. You can connect them to blood type health, but you really want to start finding 4 to 5 areas that you become expert in. And you're constantly posting on this. So when you finally do share your 7-day cleanse, your 21-day cleanse, when you finally do share, the blood type starter kit, then all of a sudden it starts to connect with people because they see you're not just someone out there trying to sell, you're actually sharing and you're giving powerful information that's value packed, okay? So your action item behind step number 4 is if you haven't yet done a live video on Facebook, if you haven't yet done a reel, and even if you've done one, I want you this week to go ahead and post at least one reel or a live video. Now, you can make content posts that doesn't have to be video related, but if a picture says 1,000 words, what do you think a video does? A video does so much more. And so we really want to ensure we're sharing video footage. And so that's important. And so now let's look at step 5, okay? Step number 5, and that's the final step in this Econovision action plan, is really staying focused, right, on the vision, right? And that vision is what? Forward only, okay? Because what are we building? We're building a legacy, and not just looking for short-term wins. I mean, short-term wins are great, but we really want to make a long-term impact, okay? And that's what's so exciting, is we can truly say we're now in this for going on 6 years. I mean, that is unheard of, right? That consistency. And so that's why we're here, because we really want the impact to be long-term. And just know that the seeds that you're planting today is creating the harvest, not just for tomorrow, but for generations to come, okay? And so ask yourself today as an action item. This is what you ask yourself. What seeds did I plant today for my future? Did you plant any seeds at all? Did you move forward today? Were you staying stuck? Were you looking behind? See, if you're looking forward, right, if you're not being stuck, you want to be in the seed planting business, because the people that plant the most seeds will build the biggest harvest. Again, not just for you, not just for tomorrow and for your family, but for the future generations. And that's absolutely powerful. And so remember, in closing, that we are on the ground floor of something truly special. Our 2020 vision for Akana is clear: health, wealth, freedom, and legacy for every person we touch. And see, this only happens when we take intentional action. And so we've got to move forward together, no looking back. Again, happy 25 to everyone. We know this is the year we thrive. And at 2:30, we would invite you to saveourstrands.com with our psychologist, Doris Mosley. And these are central time zones that I speak of. Tomorrow, you want to definitely join the Diamond Factory with Pastor Dan at 8 a.m. Central. And the rest of the week, make sure you're tuning in to all the calls. And with that being said, I want each and every one of you to have an Akana day. We're going to see.
Sounded like we lost our CEO there, but I know she was talking about seeing you at the top, the very top,
Hey,
and
Kev.
the tip top.